Well, I didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday because there was just so much going on, but yesterday was very newsworthy, not just because of the WWE deal and all that, but also because yesterday the Oscars, the nominations for the 2024 Academy Awards, the Oscars, was announced. And basically, there's a lot of nominations here. Some people have agreed with, some have not, and that's completely fine. But what are they anyway? Well, we're going to start off with the first list here, or the first nominations for actor in a leading role. The people that got nominated for actor in a leading role are Bradley Cooper for The Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. A lot of people are pretty much looking at either Giamatti or Wright or Murphy, basically, to walk out with that trophy. The ones that got nominated for the supporting role as far as an actor is concerned is Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. So those are the nominees, those are the actor nominees for a supporting role. The actresses that got nominated for the leading role, the lead actress, are Annette Bening for Nyad, Lillian Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of the Fall, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things. And a lot of people feel that's got to be Emma Stone's, that's got to be Emma Stone's trophy to have, or statue to win. Now, the actresses that got nominated for the supporting role are Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer, Daniel Brooks, The Color Purple, America Ferrera, which really surprised people, for Barbie, Jodie Foster for Nyad, and Da'Vine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. And some are saying it's going to be Randolph that gets it, but some are even saying don't be surprised if America Ferrera gets it as well. That basically she pulls the upset. The animated feature film nominees are The Boy and the Heroine, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I think obviously we're looking either at Hayao Miyazaki's film winning, that being The Boy and the Heroine, or Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Nimona could win, that could pull us upset there, but as well as Elemental could win. But I think it's going to be between the boy and the Heroine and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Cinematography, the nominees are, I'm just going to go with movies. I'm not going to say the names here, but the movies that got nominated in cinematography are El Qadin, that's El Qadi, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. The movies that got nominated for costume design, the movies that got nominated are for costume design: Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. The movies that got nominated for Best Direction, if you will, the movies that got nominated for Best Director are Anatomy of a Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. And what's interesting about that, if you will, is that people feel Barbie should have got that, and there is an argument for that. Everybody feels it was a very well-directed film, but not probably up to the standards that, the Academy Award would hope for. The community there. The nominees for documentary feature film: Bobby Wine, The People's President, The Eternal Memory, Four Daughters, To Kill a Tiger, 20 Days, and Maripol. Documentary short film nominations are The ABCs of Book Banning, The Barber of Little Rock, Island in Between, The Last Repair Shop, in Nana and Waipo. The movies that were nominated for film editing are Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. Those are your nominees for film editing. Again, Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. And that's for film editing. The nominees for international feature film are Io Capitone from Italy, Perfect Days from Japan, Society of the Show from Spain, The Teacher's Lounge from Germany, and The Zone of Interest from the United Kingdom. The nominees for makeup and hairstyling, movie-wise, go to Godal, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Society of the Show. Those are the nominees for makeup and hairstyling. Music, original score music. The nominees are American Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. The nominees music-wise for the nominees music-wise for original song are The Fire Inside from The Flaming Hot, I'm Just Ken from Barbie, It Never Went Away for American Sympathy. Let's see. What's a Sahara? A Song for My People from the Killers of the Flower Moon. And What I Was Made For also from Barbie. So I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm Just Ken gets it, I'm not going to be surprised. They got it in a recent award ceremony. I think it was the Screen Actors Guild or the Critics' Choice Awards. I'm Just Ken got it there. So I would not be surprised if it gets it here. I won't be surprised if What Was I Made For would get it. But knowing how the Academy Awards are, they might go with the songs, A Song for My People, over that because of, it's Killers of the Flower Moon, it's, Martin Scorsese, so, they could go with that. The Best Picture nominees are, these are the nominees for the big one, the one that closes out the show. The Best Picture nominees are American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. Those are the nominees for Best Picture. That'll be the one that closes out the show. Production design, the nominees are Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. That's for production design. Animated short film, Letter to a Pig, 95 Senses, Our Uniform, Pachyderm, and War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. I have to look that up. Because I know my mom, when she sees the awards and she sees that's nominated, she's going to be like, oh, look that up. I know her already. Right, nominees for live action short film. The nominees are The After, Invincible, Night of Fortune, Red, White, and Blue, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. Sound nominees, The Curator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, Oppenheimer, The Zone of Interest. Nominees, visual effects. The nominees for visual effects are The Curator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Napoleon. Nominees for writing, adapted screenplay. The nominees are for writing, adapted screenplay are American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. Some feel that Barbie being in that category shouldn't have happened, that she should have been in the next category. But hey, be that as it may, maybe they, because apparently Barbie was looked at as, a movie meant for the next category, but apparently somebody got the wires mixed or something. I don't know. Maybe they changed their mind. Because the nominees for the category that they feel Barbie should have been in, and this is the last category on the website, nominees for writing, original screenplay are Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May, December, Past Lives. So overall, those are all your nominees for the Academy Awards this year. And look, there's no doubt there are some snubs. There are some movies that got snubbed. I'm not going to deny that. I haven't seen all these movies, but I know that, from what I've heard, they're very, very well done. I mean, some people are surprised that the Iron Claw got snubbed. Yeah, that Zac Efron didn't get a nomination. It didn't get nominated for potential Best Picture, adapted screenplay or whatever, or original screenplay. They're kind of surprised by that. Like the cinematography and all that. They're kind of surprised that didn't get nominated at all, despite all the efforts, that everybody put in to make that movie happen. Some say it was a little too late because it came out after the submissions were meant to be made. But still, you could make exceptions. There's no doubt. And then Barbie, of course, Barbie got some nominations, the big one being Best Picture. But there are some snubs, like, Margot Robbie, she didn't get nominated for her role as Barbie, which I am surprised about. I'm surprised about that Margot Robbie didn't get that. But, they still got nominated. And yeah, there is a bit of confusion. It's like, what about Greta, the lady that directed Barbie? Why didn't she get nominated for Best Director? Again, it's all based on my assumption, and I'm sure that everybody else shares the same opinion. It's all based on, what the Academy sees. Like the Academy could see a good movie that, makes a lot of money, and people, all across the board are saying it's one of the best films of the year. They'll look at that and say, okay, we're putting you in the Best Picture nomination. That's fine. And they might even say, hey, the costume designs and everything, people are complimenting this, they're saying this about it, they're saying that about it. What they look at most of all is what people are talking about more so than anything. They don't hear people talking about, Greta did a great job in directing the film. No, they're looking at the costumes that were made for the film. They're looking at, the songs people are talking about and, singing themselves for the film, singing themselves, from the film. They're looking at the overall opinions that are talked about more so than anything, the popular opinions. And Greta being talked about as a director, for the film, doing a great job, was not one of those popular opinions. It's all about popularity. It's like, what are they talking about the most? What is trending the most when it comes to a movie like Barbie? And these are things, I'll be honest, that need to change. There are things about the Academy Awards that need to change. Because you're always going to have criticisms and controversies because of who did not get nominated. Like with the Iron Claw, going back to that, people feel it got snubbed and it shouldn't have. People are going to, probably call for the Academy Awards to basically extend submissions or extend the deadline for submissions, past maybe Christmas, so that, even movies that come out before Christmas, or even on Christmas can get submitted. People are going to probably push for that. And if they do, hopefully they might win that. Maybe they'll get that to change. But look, we have to look at, but hold on for a second. Almost got tongue-tied. But let's look at it from this perspective. We all know the Academy Awards are the be-all, end-all when it comes to award shows, right? We know that. We know that most of the times that the Academy Awards have happened, there have been surprise winners. Sometimes they will make decisions that obviously you could tell they don't want to make, but they know, hey, if we don't want to deal with any controversy in the future, we got to make these decisions, and they do. They make these decisions, to go with this nominee as the Academy Award winner or that nominee, not what they want. So what we need to do is we need to be ready. We need to be ready for the fact that even though we could say Barbie has 2 nominations in Best Original Song, it may not win it. That nomination may go to Killers of the Flower Moon and their song, A Song for My People. That's where it might go to. You know, we have to be ready for that. We have to be ready for the fact that even though we believe, you know, Oppenheimer is a great movie and Barbie's a great movie and they should both win Best Picture, we should be ready for American Fiction or Zone of Interest to rock out with it, because those are what the Academy Award wants. Those are what the Academy Award Committee, you know, the Motion Picture Association, you know, that's what they value more. Class in their eyes. So we have to be ready. We have to be ready for basically our favorites probably not to walk out with what we feel they need to walk out with. But maybe we might be wrong. Maybe our favorites that we believe are going to basically sweep the Academy Awards are going to do just that. I mean, Oppenheimer's got 13, and that's usually a good sign. If something's got 13, most of the time there's a good chance that even if it doesn't win them all, it's going to win the big one. At the end of the night, it's going to win the big one. But we have to be ready. We have to prepare ourselves. You know, that's all I'm saying. But let me know what your thoughts are on the nominations on the Academy Awards this year. You know, what are your feelings about some of the snubs and, you know, in certain categories and everything? And do you plan on watching, or do you plan on skipping because maybe you feel it's just going to be basically a show that is about the basically the upper class kind of films, you know, that get the win? Let me know down below in the comments as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video, and until then, I am out.